Good morning. I believe you are good and you are keeping safe. I welcome you to today's class. In our previous class, we discussed on anatomy and physiology of farm animals, and we defined anatomy as the structure of the body of farm animals, and physiology as the function of the forms and parts of the farm animals. We also talked on digestive system and circulatory system of farm animals. We treated digestion in ruminant animals, where we listed the four main compartments of the stomach of ruminant animals: the rumen, the reticulum, the omasum, and the abomasum. Also, we discussed on digestion in non-ruminant animals. Here we also moved to circulatory system in farm animals. We discussed the components of the circulatory system: the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. The blood vessels, which include the capillaries and the vein, and the heart, so that the heart has four chambers: the right auricle, the left auricle, the right ventricle, and the left ventricle. Now, as I've discussed, as I told you rather last week, that this particular topic, anatomy and physiology of farm animals, we're going to treat five main systems of farm animals. In the previous class, we treated the two, which is the digestive system and circulatory system. Now, today, we'll continue with the remaining three: the nervous system, the reproductive system, and the respiratory system. Let me share the screen with you. Anatomy and physiology of farm animals. Continue. Now, before we go to the detail of the lesson, let's see the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to: number one, define reproduction in mammals; number two, state the mammalian male and female organs of reproduction and their functions; three, discuss the respiratory system of farm animals; and lastly, explain the nervous system of farm animals. Now, let's see the definition of reproduction. Reproduction in mammals refers to the ability in animals to give birth to their young ones alive. It is the process by which new organisms are produced by the adult animals. The word reproduction is not new to you. Process by which living organisms give birth to their young ones alive. Now, farm animals also, they give birth to their young ones alive, especially the mammals. The mammals. Now let's move to the mammalian female organs of reproduction and their functions. Mammalian female organs of reproduction and their functions. There are some organs in the reproductive system of female adult farm animal that enables the animal to produce the young ones. The young ones. Now, the first organ is the ovaries. The ovaries. The ovaries, they produce egg and the hormone estrogen. The ovary produce egg and the hormone estrogen. This estrogen, which is an hormone in the reproductive system of female animals, is very, very important in the reproduction of young ones in the female reproductive system. Another organ is the oviduct, and the oviduct can also be called the fallopian tube. It's also called the fallopian tube. The oviduct receives the egg after ovulation. After the eggs have been released, and the process by which the egg is released is called ovulation. Now the egg still moves to the fallopian tube. So the fallopian tube or the oviduct receives the egg. Number three is the uterus. The uterus is also called the womb. It receives the embryo for implantation and nourishes it until pasteurization. The uterus receives the embryo for implantation or for conception. After fertilization, after the egg has been fertilized by the sperm from the male, now implantation occurs, that is conception occurs in the womb. So the embryo attaches itself to the womb. The process is called conception or implantation. And also the embryo receives nutrition, receives nutrients rather, receives nutrients in the womb until pasteurization. Pasteurization is the process of giving birth in farm animals. Now we have the cervix too. The cervix. The cervix blocks the uterus tightly to protect the baby. It's the cervix that blocks the uterus, that holds the uterus tightly to protect the baby from any danger. Now we have the vagina as another organ of reproduction. The vagina serves as the canal for copulation. Copulation can also be called mating. The vagina serves as the canal for copulation or mating, and also is the birth canal and the urinary tract canal. We also have the clitoris as part of the organ of the female reproductive system, and the function is that it's a sensitive organ and a monologue of the penis in the male animal, just like the penis in male. Then the last organ is the vulva, the vulva. It indicates to the male animal when the female animal is on it. When the female animal is on it, that is when the female animal is ready or desire to mate. So the vulva indicates the male animal when the female animal is on it. I believe you are following me. Now let me show you the diagram. So this is the diagram of the female reproductive organ of a mama, and this is a female goat called doe. Now this is the ovary. The ovary will release the egg. That's the function of the ovary. And this is the fallopian tube or the oviduct, where the eggs will swing into. Now this is the uterus, that is the womb. Uterus also is there, the womb. And this is the cervix. I'm saying the cervix blocks the uterus. It holds the uterus tightly to protect the baby. This is the vagina, the canal for copulation or mating, and also is the birth canal and urinary tract. This is the opening of the urethra, where urine passes out, and this is the vulva, which indicates to the male animal when the female animal is on it, that is, has desire for mating. Now let's see the mammalian male reproductive organs. The mammalian male reproductive organs and their functions. We have the testes. The function is that they store and produces sperm cells, the spermatozoa, that's sperm cells. The testes, they store and produces sperm cells. Then we have the epididymis. It stores sperm cells and allows them to mature further. The epididymis stores sperm cells also and allows them to mature further. Also, we have the vas deferens. The vas deferens carries sperm containing fluid from the epididymis to the urethra. To carry the sperm containing fluid. The fluid might be the semen from the epididymis to the urethra. Also, we have the ampulla. The ampulla temporarily stores the semen when the animal is aroused until ejaculation, that is the release of the semen. We have the urethra. The urethra secretes watery substances that clears the tract during mating. That's some watery substances that the urethra will secrete when mating is in process. It helps to clear the tract when mating is in process. And finally, the penis. The penis conducts and discharges sperm cells, the spermatozoa, into the vagina during copulation. Now, let me share the diagram of the male reproductive organ of a sheep. This is the male reproductive organ of a sheep here. Now, as you can see from the diagram, this is the ampulla, which stores sperm when the animal is aroused until ejaculation. This is the penis there where the semen will be discharged. The testes store the sperm. We have the scrotum. The scrotum contains the testes. The epididymis, this is the tail of the epididymis here, and tail of the epididymis allows sperm cells to mature. and also stores the sperm cell. This vast difference is there. They carry the sperm from the epididymis to the urethra. Urethra. Fine. Now let's move to the respiratory system. The respiratory system. The respiratory system includes all the organs and tissues associated with the exchange of gases between an animal and its environment. Like we human beings, we breathe in oxygen from the environment and we release it and we release carbon dioxide. So also in animals, in farm animals, they also breathe in oxygen and they release carbon dioxide. The oxygen in the atmosphere passes through the nostril of farm animals down to the pharynx, the next to the larynx, and to the lungs. Now, the lungs is the most important organ of respiration in land animals, while the gills is to the aquatic animals. Farm animals, they use the lungs for respiration, while gills is used for respiration in aquatic animals. Then the oxygen moves from the lungs and the organ of respiration, that is the nostril, the pharynx, the lung, and the larynx. And when when oxygen moves from these organs, it finally terminates in the alveolar, where exchange of gases takes place. And the exchange of gases that takes place there in the alveolar is the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now, the respiratory system of farm animals. Respiratory system of farm animals. This is the larynx, as is shown in diagram here. The epiglottis, the trachea, the larynx, the epiglottis, the trachea, the intercostal muscles is there. This is the rib, and the rib serve as protection for every other organs like the lungs, the bronchioles, the heart, the diaphragm. All these delicate organs of respiration are suspended in the rib, here. You have the pleural cavity, inner pleural membrane, outer pleural membrane. The main organs of respiration in the respiratory system of farm animal are the larynx, the trachea, the lungs, and the pharynx. I hope you understand. Now let's move to the process of breathing. Process of breathing. Breathing involves two main processes. Number one, inspiration, which is also called inhalation. This involves the breathing in of air into the lungs. Inspiration involves the breathing in of air into the lungs, and we breathe in oxygen into the lungs. The second process is the expiration. It's also called exhalation. This involves the breathing out of air from the lungs to the environment, and the gas that the farm animal breathe out is carbon dioxide, CO2, carbon dioxide. So these two processes are involved in breathing, inspiration and expiration. And I said inspiration involves the breathing in of air into the lungs, while expiration involves the breathing out of air from the lungs to the environment. I believe you are following me and you understand. Now, the next nervous system is the next system is the nervous system. Nervous system. Animals are able to detect the changes in their environments and respond to them accordingly through the nervous system. It's the nervous system that enables the animal to detect changes in their environment and respond to these changes accordingly. The nervous system consists of number one, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. the central nervous system, and the peripheral nervous system. Now, let's discuss the central nervous system. The central nervous system also further consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord. Now, let's discuss the brain. The brain is enclosed in a bony case called the cranium. The bone is enclosed in a bony case called the cranium. That is, the cranium protects the brain. The brain is further divided into three main parts. We have the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The forebrain consists of olfactory lobes, which receives sensory impulse for smell, and cerebellum, which controls all voluntary actions. Now, the forebrain receives sensory impulse for smell. It's the function of the forebrain that helps the animal to be sensitive to smell. And also, the cerebellum controls all voluntary actions. Voluntary actions are actions that farm animals do willingly, like walking and so on. Then we also have the midbrain. The midbrain consists of optic lobes that control sight. The midbrain consists of optic lobes that control sight, that is seeing. The midbrain helps in seeing, helps the farm animals to see. The third part of the brain is the hindbrain, and the hindbrain consists of cerebellum, which receives respiration, heartbeat, and digestive movement. Respiration, heartbeat, and digestive movement. This is the main function of the hindbrain. Hindbrain receive respiration, heartbeat, and the digestive movement. Now, let's discuss the spinal cord, other parts of the central nervous system, the spinal cord. The spinal cord emerges or arises from the medulla oblongata and runs through the neural canal of the vertebral column or the backbone. The vertebral column is also called backbone. The spinal cord controls all involuntary actions of the body of farm animals. Involuntary actions like sneezing, blinking of the eyes, and so those are the involuntary actions. The actions that you do not do willingly, that occurs unconsciously at the farm animals. So the spinal cord arises from the medulla oblongata and runs through the neural canal of the vertebral column or the spinal cord. Now, the second part of the nervous system is the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system, and this consists of the cranial and the spinal nerves. The spinal nerves. These spinal nerves help to transmit signals between different parts of the body. It transmits signals from the brain to different parts of the body. So the peripheral nervous system consists of the cranial and spinal nerves and the autonomic nervous system. Now, this is the diagram of the nervous system of a farm animal and us. Now you can see this is the brain here, and the brain consists of the cerebrum and the cerebellum. The cerebellum can be found in the hindbrain and is the part of the brain that helps in all physical activities, that is the voluntary actions in farm animals. And this is the cerebrum here. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it helps in interpreting touch, vision, hearing, and control all the movements of farm animals. This is the spinal cord here, which enables the farm animals to stand erect. Now, You can see the nerves here, radial nerves, the ulnar nerves, and the medial nerves. These are the nerves at the four limbs of the farm animal, the horse, and the nerves in the hind limbs of the farm animal. Here, as I've said earlier, the nerves help to transmit signals between different parts of the body. Between different parts of the body. Now, let's see the neuron. The neuron. A neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. The neuron can also be called the nerve, and is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. In fact, the neuron comprises of the nervous system. We have three main types of neurons: the sensory or afferent neurons. The sensory or afferent neurons. They receive impulses and pass them to the nervous system. The sensory neurons or the afferent neurons receive impulses and pass them to the nervous system. They receive sensations, probably touch, hearing, and they pass this to the nervous system. The second type of neuron is intermediate or relay neurons. Intermediate or relay neurons. They act as connectors between the pathways of the sensory and the motor neurons. The intermediate, from the word intermediary, intermediate neuron. They act as connector, that is, they connect the pathway of the sensory neuron and the motor neuron. And the last type of neuron is the motor or efferent neurons. They carry messages from the central nervous system to the effector organs or the cell. So they carry messages from the central nervous system to various organs in the body of farm animals and the cells. I believe you've been able to enjoy this class. We discussed on the reproductive system of farm animals, the mammalian female reproductive organs of farm animals comprises of the ovary, the oviduct, the uterus, the fallopian tube, the clitoris, and so on. We also discussed the male reproductive organ, the mammalian male reproductive organs of farm animals, the vas deferens, the ampulla, the testes, the epididymis, and the rest. We discussed on the neurons too, which is the structural and functional units of nervous system. Because the three main types of neurons: sensory or afferent neurons, which receive impulses and pass them to the nervous system; the intermediate or relay neurons, which serve as the connector between the pathways of sensory and motor impulses; and the motor or efferent neurons, which they carry messages from the central nervous system to the effectors or the cell. Discussed on nervous system too. The composition of the nervous system, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system itself comprises of two main parts, the brain and the spinal cord. And we discussed that the brain has three main parts rather: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain, and also the peripheral nervous system. Good. So you can read more on this topic from the lesson notes on the website and the recommended textbook, Essential Agricultural Science for Senior Secondary School. Thank you, and see you in the next class. Keep staying safe. Bye.